your major malfunction, numbnuts!
I see.
Alrighty. Okay, good. I'm on stage. Mic's working. Got it right this week. Fantastic. How's everyone doing? What shall I say? Happy Hallows Eve. Welcome, fellow Kafir and Goy. I see Bob is doing a live right now. To be honest with you, this was pre-scheduled. Otherwise, I'd be over there watching that. But at any rate, his should be over in a few, so hopefully people come and join me here. Yeah, I mean, this was a movie that I wanted to do for, I mean, not a long time. It's not a very special movie we'll be doing a watch party for today. It's just one that happened to get through copyright checks and YouTube, surprise, surprise, because how great it is. It's a 1989 film. It's the third of a, should we call it trilogy or a bunch of sequels. It's a Toxic Avenger for those that might be familiar. It's kind of a B-rated film, kind of a cult following, if you will. But I figured, given it's Halloween, it'd be a good time to show this. It's got all kinds of elements in it, different things to talk about too. So the link to come up is pinned, so anyone feel free to come on up and share your thoughts about anything we discussed today. I've got an idea that I might go in a lengthy discussion before the watch party. Yeah. All right. There's the cook. But you know, this movie is one you might actually like. Yeah, this one is probably right up your alley. It's a bit kooky, so you might like this one if you haven't already seen it. It's interesting that this movie actually is subtitled "The Temptation of." The Temptation of. Okay, so the main character is in case you're not familiar, is a character that has some kind of toxic spell, and he becomes transformed because of the chemicals. Hey, what's up, Slim? I see you made it over. Advertised. Don't let me pull you from Bob the speaker there. He's got some good stuff going on over there. He's definitely one of the guys that I admire in these circles. Yeah, I'm just going to ramble for a little bit, and then we'll watch this in probably 15 minutes afterward. Hey, Giv, how you doing? Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so basically the main character is someone who's been, let's use the word evolved into an X-Men, kind of like the GMO forced lethal serums were promised to do. You know, a lot of people were actually believing that those serums would change them and make them like heal them and give them special abilities. I kid you not, people were parroting this stuff. Thank you. But yeah, and so we get that a lot. We've got the incredible shrinking woman, the growing man, and so on and so forth, from, you know, all these chemicals that are supposed to make you exceptional, superpowered. This is kind of a theme in Hollywood. Or, in fact, one of Marvel's most popular characters, one of my childhood favorites, which they really, really bastardized in the 21st century. They made him gay, commie, and all these things. At any rate, yeah, of course, ethnically cleansed them, placed them with a black guy, you know, women, and so on. So it's Captain America. Captain America. Yeah, basically Captain America, he's got the super soldier serum, which made him Captain America. So yeah, we just kind of see this kind of theme throughout, and that's how the Toxic Avenger came to being. He was kind of a nerdy kid that was picked on, bullied on, and then, you know, this accident makes him into this zombie that's got superpowers, and he's kind of the how would you call it? What's the anti-hero kind of trope? The yeah, the unwilling good doer. So, but yeah, in a very weird and perverse way. So this is definitely a rated R film. It's not one you want to watch with your children. That's the other reason I've put off watching this for a while. But yeah, I mean, it's open. It opens up for some good discussion here. Again, the link is in the is pinned. Feel free to come on up and discuss stuff. We're going to discuss a range of topics. I want to get a bunch of things in before the elections, before November 5th, right? I'm not going to manage, but I'll do what I can. So a lot of this is going to be rambling. It's going to seem like I'm waffling, but that's just me trying to cover a lot of things before that happens. I did want to get back to the series I was doing, Eddie Murphy, but it's just been real difficult for me emotionally to do that. But I do, before November 5th, I am going to just jump into a series with Whoopi Goldberg, including some grooming she's gotten away with, and other things, you know, contradicting herself, of course, and those kinds of things. Epic. I can relate to that, unfortunately. Yeah, so what's the first thing we want to talk about? Production notes. Okay, so the usual production notes, guys. The director is also a writer in this sequel, at least. You can guess what his background is. I want to challenge everyone that might be listening here, and this is a genuine question because I would love to see this outside of the 21st century. And I say that because a lot of the quote-unquote Christian movies made in the 21st century are extremely suspiciously anti-Christian. You know, it's kind of belligerent, and even, yeah, to a belligerent degree, much like everything else they made in the 21st century. So outside of those movies, so 20th century Christian movies, which ones do you see that have themes of, well, promoting abortion, for example, promoting drug use, promoting promiscuity, premarital sex, promoting divorce, you know, woman empowerment, aka woman empowerment, promoting murder, promoting cannibalism. I mean, the list goes on here with these very common Hollywood themes. So, through the decades, 20th century, which Christian production has promoted these things? So you see a very stark contrast here. You see very few Christian movies actually being made. There might be mention of God or religious themes in other movies. Oh, you may. I'm not really Catholic, so I wouldn't know it, and I don't keep up too much with what's going on in the Catholic Church. And forgive me, son, but I hope you're wrong about that. That would be, I mean, it's not a shocker from what I hear these days on the internet about, the current Pope, but yeah, that would not be good. Yeah. I mean, it's some dark times, folks. Like I said, excluding the 21st century, which is upside down. A lot of people have evidently sold out. Outside of that, I'm talking 20th century, 20th century films. So, yeah, that's kind of heartbreaking. The stuff you see going on with the biggest Christian faction worldwide it's the Catholic Church for centuries. I mean, of course, it used to be before the Great Schism, the same church, but yeah, I don't know. It's tragic. And the Orthodox Church, by the way, it's not heading in a good direction either. So if you haven't already heard some things, you'll be hearing things soon enough, which is quite unfortunate. Because they're supposed to be the vanguards, and they're selling out too, unfortunately. So what does that leave us? Well, I mean, it leaves us with Jesus Christ, but as Scripture warns, as Christ warns, even the faithful will be fooled, will be deceived. Yeah. I'm almost speechless. You know what? On that note, let's do with a little prayer. I don't usually open with one, and Jeremy, I tend to like to close with one, but let's do a little prayer right now with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And from thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, in the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit, both now and ever, to the ages of ages. Amen. It's tough to say the Lord's Prayer and adhere to it. So it's definitely good practice to be saying it every day. Start your day with it, and as a reflection, even closing with it, amongst other things. But on that, I'm going to jump on this next subject. Christian movies compared to Hollywood. Now let's talk about Christian apologists of the 21st century, the WWW spiritual warriors, if you will, compared to the original Christian apologists, which were basically people who were coming from paganism or atheism. They were not technically called the early church fathers. I guess you call them that, but they were in between the apostolic fathers and the early church fathers, the people who established the church. So basically converts to Christianity, I guess you could put it that way. But even the apostolic fathers were converts to Christianity, since they were formerly Jews of the Old Covenant and establishing the New Covenant. So, I don't know. I've been in these circles for a couple of years now. I've been invited to the backstage meetings and these kinds of things. I've gotten to know more and more of them. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot out there apparently. But I imagine I know the more popular ones. And some of them have got to know me. And I'm sure some of those don't have good things to say about me either. I get quite vocal, especially when it comes to chat. But yeah, I mean, I can't help myself. I'm very opinionated. I think that arguably comes with being Greek. I've heard otherwise from others, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, as a Christian, I mean, you're supposed to, if someone's being misled or misleading others, I think it's important to speak up. You want to help. You want to do it in love. As Scripture says, approach them with a loving spirit. But this environment is quite toxic. It doesn't really allow for that, especially in chat. I mean, chat, you've got people that are trolling, like circa, whatever. Who, I mean, I don't mind. He's actually kind of funny, or she, whatever it is. But then you've got the restrictions. You're confined to very limited speech. Not to mention it's written text. So written communications automatically are subject to misinterpretation. People will read into it literally. So there's that. Then of course you're already limited. It's just set up for you to miscommunicate, and I think it's just you being you. All right, my apologies. Forgive me. I'll take it back if I can. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, but then there's just this whole Speaking of which, like this whole triggering thing, this triggering culture. There's a lot of people that are like doing reviews. That's a popular thing. I review movies, but it's a little different in the sense that I'm trying to expose mass media messaging. And so, like these watch parties are one way for me to watch movies that I haven't watched before and do it in a way that's fun for me and engaging for you. So, but also a lot easier because otherwise I'm like literally stopping every 5 minutes and taking multiple notes and all that, and then editing and all that. It's a process that takes me at the very least days, hours per day, just for one film, at the very least. So, this is much more efficient to say the least, but it's a lot more fun too. And I get to engage with you guys in that way. So yeah, I enjoy this. That's a little different than what I've seen, like someone like finding a video of someone they target online and then watching it, and of course they have to stop it every 2 to 5 minutes or a couple, I don't know, every couple of minutes, give or take, so they don't get copyright zapped. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of things. Early on, during the lockdown, I was very mad at the church for its anti-Christian stance at a historical time when the church was supposed to, especially in America, supposed to stand and correct this misuse of separation of church and state, which was originally established to protect the church, but then exploited to undermine the church. But instead of doing that, they did the goose step and parroted extremely detrimental dictates and blaspheming their own theology, their own institutions in the process. It was it's a process that, or an event, not a process, but I mean that too. But it was something that I'm still struggling to, let's say, get over, which I'm not going to get over. I still think we should hold all accountable, including those people, all of them. But yeah, it's had like ongoing implications. So what I was left with at the time was this online group, these Christian apologists, one of which was heralded by this group. I was invited to join a panel. We'll look at one of Thaddeus's streams on Halloween. I haven't watched the entire thing. I watched about half of it. No kidding. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. There's some weird things going on with my account and notifications. In fact, I just posted a short, and they usually put out notifications and all that, but they didn't even do that. In fact, let me go ahead and post a link for that now so you guys can check it out later. I would like to think it's hilarious, but that's probably me and enjoying my own work a bit too much. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, exactly. So basically, this environment is toxic. So when had no one to turn to, I would turn to this guy that's again heralded by these circles, and so he was a Trinitarian, and I was like, okay, cool. Maybe this is a guy I could turn to for some spiritual advice. And I started asking him questions in chat, and he responded to my first question, excellent. And then the next thing I know, he suddenly starts attacking me for being Orthodox Christian. And I mean slander. And when I say slander, he was literally lying, putting words in my mouth and accusing me of things I don't do, and so on and so forth. Even though I was correcting him while he was doing it, he still insisted on doing that. But he was doing like literally red in the face, foaming at the mouth, just being a completely ugly, ignoring my corrections, ignoring my correcting his claims about the orthodoxy itself, and so on. It got really nasty. And yeah, he spent like a good 15 to 30 minutes just basically attacking me, like viciously. I mean, I haven't seen Muslims behave that way, by the way. So this, I'm gonna call them wolves in sheep's clothing, just really, just was horrendous. And I was shocked, like, what the hell just happened? It's not that, I was raised in the South, so it wasn't completely new, but to this degree, in that way. And this is what I mean by the online environment and these people. I mean, they've got these, what I'm calling WWW cults, these very strong followings that if you speak any truth against them, if you're not just like totally praising them and idolizing them and saying nothing but good things, all of a sudden you become public enemy. Right? And it's quite a problem. And it's concerning because these people have great influence over their quote unquote following. Yeah. So basically the very next day, this guy turns around and makes dedicates an entire video to how Orthodox Christianity is evil. I mean, not only is that immature, is that really Christ-like? So I've had similar behaviors along the way. And most of the time I've spent kind of ignoring it. But I mean, it's just gotten to a point where I see things of, this emphasis on the church of Kathisman. Yeah, there was a mention that it's not Gnostic, but anyway, it's heretical. And every Orthodox expert I've brought this church up to, by the way, they're like, what church is that? But these people are painting it like it's some kind of magnificent, well-known church that's really idolized. And so just like these clips we'll watch today, they're really, really, they're deceitful. They're deceiving people. And they know they are. Who else does that in these circles, by the way? So what spirit is that stuff being done? And I'm trying my best, and I've been for a very long time biting my tongue, but I'm very concerned about these thousands upon thousands of people that they're influencing. And with this type of slander, this type of heresy, they're taking people away from God in the process. To me, that's alarming. I mean, you don't have to go to an Orthodox church to be saved, from my perspective. That's one thing. It's another to go around Christian bashing and then calling yourself Christian in the process. I mean, where did Jesus Christ say, go out into the world and be a superior Christian? Go out into the world and slander other Christians. Go out into the world and misrepresent historical facts, theologies, and conflate, slander, misrepresent. I mean, just basically adding things, just ad-libbing. I don't want to spend too much into that because I don't want to be guilty of what they're doing, but I'm going to address it because again, they're influencing thousands, and so I feel compelled to respond. And I have responded to them, in case you're wondering, repeatedly, not only through chat, privately as well. Yet they insist on doing this kind of thing in what is evidently a crafty way. So now I've got to do the final step, take it in front of the church. Yep, so enough about that. Let's see. Next thing. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, so let me ask you guys these questions, generally speaking. And this is something I've been going on for quite a while. Not with this mindset of what I'm talking about, but just even back then, like I'm saying a couple of years ago when I was pretty new to these circles. I noticed that Well, they were making me feel a certain way. So let me ask you, when you guys spend hours taking this stuff in, interacting with their message, these emotions, how does it make you feel? Yeah, exactly. And it's biblical. I mean, it is biblical, you know. It's unfortunate. And because it's biblical and Christ says this too shall come to pass, it's not that we can't, there's nothing we can do about it, but it's going to happen. But at the very least, we could, you know, try to um, minimize the damage, try to try to help as many as we can. You know, at the end of the day, again, I don't want to go into what I feel is going to happen, but I already know that Christ is already victorious, and I already know that we should be active. These two things I'm certain of. Yeah. So, what are you compelled to do after you watch these live streams? What do you feel like doing? What are you thinking about? What kind of new information have you taken in, and how does that impact your outlook? Think back. I'm not going to answer these for you, and you don't even have to answer it. These are just questions for food for thought. And then censorship. A couple of years ago, was heavily censored, and I didn't even know it. And it was thanks to Thaddeus's invitation to do a live stream and how Hollywood promotes Islam. That was like over a couple of years ago, I think, give or take, a couple of years ago. It was because of that stream I realized that I was being shadow banned, and so at that point I was like, man, I needed to do an edited video because I was just finishing up this documentary I did on Islam. Again, how does Hollywood support Islam or something to that effect? It's an hour and a half long. It's really two videos overlapping, so it's information overload, my usual video, but. And there's a lot in it. It's worth a watch if you've got time. But for a lot of you, you've already familiar with a lot of this stuff. So, but at any rate, yeah, basically, I was talking about the censorship back then on that stream, and he seemed to be like, okay, yeah, whatever. You're overdoing it. So he seems to kind of go back and forth in that. I don't mean to be dropping his name and singling him out, but because we're watching one of his videos today. That's why I'm a bit doing that. I'm not trying to single him out. He's actually one of my favorite apologists, if not my favorite. And I attend his Bible studies personally, regularly, which he does on Saturday evenings, I think. But yeah, I mean, look, no one's perfect. But these kinds of grievances, you know, these kinds of things, they need to be addressed. And censorship is a real problem. I mean, we had Paul Sutliff just recently talk about how Google is taking things down. And let me ask you guys, did you know that Hillary Clinton had a biography written about her by a sex slave, a young prostitute, underage at the time, who was telling the story that she went to I think it was the White House or somewhere in D.C., where she was brought in by a madam to meet Hillary Clinton and do the deeds with her. Now, this was a book that was published, and you can't even, I mean, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do a search on it. Can you find this book anywhere on the internet? It's been completely expunged. Yeah, no doubt. Completely expunged. So, yeah, to answer your question, Slim, about the Sabbath, I'm not a theologian. I don't want to try to be. I have very limited knowledge, but from my understanding, well, it depends on which Sabbath you're talking about. But our Sabbath does traditionally start on Saturday evening. Basically, when the sun sets, traditionally, we're talking about the Julian calendar, before the Gregorian calendar was adopted. The sun setting was the signal of the end of one day, but the beginning of the next. So therefore, actually, Sunday started Sunday after sunset. I mean, a Saturday after sunset. I'm sorry. So I know it's kind of weird, but And then, of course, the Orthodox Church still, especially the old calendarists, particularly, they still recognize that, but especially in their worship services. So, and that's what Vespers is about. Vespers is actually, well, not the first, but of the first services. Vespers is an evening service, in case you're not familiar. So that's all I can tell you about what day the Sabbath is. But I'm no theologian. That's all I got for you. All right, and let's keep the back and forth down there. Let's just be mindful and respectful. All right. So, and this is me ripping into other Christian apologists, and I'm not. Believe me. If I wanted to rip into people, I think those of you who've seen me on Big Nose know I'm capable of doing that. This is me filtered, believe it or not. So, yeah. Let's see. Let me go into the next note. Attending. Okay. Yeah, the censorship. I mean, this is a real problem because, yeah, again, I mean, on top of all the censorship on Fascist Book, on YouTube, Discord seems to be uncensored. But Discord, you'll know all Chinese companies document everything. And so TikTok and Discord, anything you put up there is now in some database in China. This is not a conspiracy theory. I've worked for the Chinese for years. They're quite open about it. So if that doesn't concern you, then more power to you. But just know, at the very least, that's happening. But what's also happening is that those platforms are being supplanted, are supplanting Western companies, which are being destroyed. Hollywood is being destroyed. I don't like Hollywood, but then what are we left? Well, all those people that are online bashing Hollywood, as they should. They don't also preach Jesus, by the way. I said they'll talk about the money, or they'll talk about these latest topics. Yeah, but they won't talk. They don't preach Jesus. And so what they will, tell you to watch anime, read some manga, even from a Bollywood, to some degree, not too much, but my point is that it seems like BRICS is winning out. So we need to be careful that, okay, so it's the lesser of two evils in my mind. I'm not trying to promote Hollywood. I'd rather see everything be Christian across the board. Yeah, for real. Big time. But yeah, and that's something that we need to address. I've been begging these guys, these Christian apologists, to get together and do a lawsuit. Nobody wants to do it. I tried to initiate one myself. I had a lawyer for a minute who said she would take on my case and then wanted to change and sue someone else. Can't remember what. So that didn't last very long. But yeah, it's way beyond my means at this point. I'm just get off on tangent, but I'm just this winter. Let me be frank. This winter, I don't even know how I'm going to be staying alive. I might be one of those people starving to death this winter. But even if that happens, I'm going to be on here. You'll be of the first knowing about it, because I'm going to be fighting till the very end. But yeah, it's going to be a very dark winter, folks. So buckle up for that too. For a lot of us. And that's part of the goal too. And then, again, censorship. You can't even talk about these things that they're doing to us. That's a problem. Yeah. I mean, and that's just the one vehicle. Again, mass media to me is the biggest controller of everyone worldwide, and they are taking that over right now. The last bastions of Hollywood are all but being bought out by guess who, and they're already being managed by that. For instance, Disney, which pretty much owns, I don't say everything, but tons. I mean, they've been controlled by Sony. And Sony's been trying to buy them out outright, but yeah, I mean, if you just look at the credits, look at the names. It's documented. That's a real problem. And that's why it just so happens that you can't speak about China, or things like that. Everything true about certain groups all of a sudden is completely racist and taboo. You can't talk about it. Which brings us to, well, not the next thing, but yeah, again, the link is in the pinned in chat. If you want to come up and share any thoughts, please feel free. Halloween. Did I skip dichotomies? It seems like it's not on my list here. What's going on? I wanted to talk about dichotomies and these things that were being forced in, which are a complete distraction. You know, it was just a few years ago. I think it was like in 2018, maybe 2018, maybe even 2019. Remember those guys that blew the whistle, or not blew the whistle, but exposed Planned Parenthood for the organ harvesting? Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you, Hanzo. It's pretty bad. I mean, the EU and the UN, of course, but they're getting sued for funding Islam. By the way, the United Nations is the UNholiday, but the European Union and its EU-Turkey agreement, for example, and all this other stuff. It's sketch, to say the least. But yeah, those guys that were, accused of all these horrible things, and they were basically going to go to jail forever because they made these secret videos of Planned Parenthood. Well, they won their cases against Planned Parenthood, but we got quickly distracted by I can't remember. Oh, the BLM thing, I think it was, or the lockdown. I can't remember. One or the other. Either way, yeah, it was one thing after the other. Nobody's talking about that. It's quite significant. And by the way, the lethal serums, the forced lethal serums, the GMO serums that were supposed to turn us into X-Men, guess what that stuff had in it? Stem cells. Yep. Wonder where that stuff came from. Anyway, let's see. Right. Yeah, and this basically, one thing that YouBoob has got right is at least what the Christian apologists, some are saying that you can't say the word suicide on here or repeat it, which I think is great, because it's one of the things that Hollywood has been doing. I mean, drilling us with this concept in our head. So, but outside of that, yeah, I mean, you need to be, the fact that they won't allow us to talk about all this evil stuff kind of says it all. Hey, what's up, Slim? I'll give you a minute to get adjusted. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. So, yeah, yeah, but this didactic stuff, it's really killing me. It's killing me. One of the other things that we're forced to talk about or join, again, and I talk about this regularly because of my research, which is mainstream media or Hollywood specifically, is we're being forced to choose between Islam and Judaism. You want me to put you up, Slim? You ready to go? Okay. All right.
Anything.
All right. Hey, sir. How you doing?
I'm very well, thanks.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Are you well?
Yeah, really good to see you. What's new in your part of the world?
The weather. Autumn's settling in. The trees are losing other leaves. Getting colder.
Love it. Yeah, it is. It is getting colder in my neck of the woods too. Today, as a matter. Well, it's back and forth, but yeah, it's getting there. Yeah. So basically, we're going to do a watch party today of a really quirky movie. It's again the sequel. It's part 3. The subtitle is called "The Temptation of Toxie," the Toxic Avenger Part 3, a 1989 film. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've this will be my first time, to be honest. I watched the first one, but I didn't watch any of the sequels.
We're at Blockbuster decades ago.
Was it really, or are you kidding? Okay, yeah, you're
No,
kidding.
really.
No kidding. All right. Yeah, to me it's like a B-rated film, but it's a, let's say, a fun watch. It's definitely rated R. At least the first one was. I don't know about this one. Again, I haven't seen it, but I won't be surprised if you see some nudity today, some cursing, definitely some violence. But yeah, I mean, Halloween, this is a good time to watch it. And again, it is covering all these things that we're talking about, that I'm rambling on about, trying to beat the November 5th U.S. elections, which I suspect, and many are suspecting, we're waiting for all hell to break loose once that happens. Regardless of who wins, everyone is expecting crazy riots, which is insane. How do you feel about the U.S. elections, Slim?
How do I feel about them? I think that there's a good chance that the Democrat types are going to cheat their way into power, because it seems to be what they do best.
Yeah, I mean, there's been videos already of mail-in ballots floating up from the sewage. I've posted a video myself in a short of some postmen throwing away letters. I can't confirm those were mail-in ballots or not, but the fact that a postman is throwing away letters is a federal offense. So, I mean, stuff like that is usually all over the internet, but or should be all over the media, but it's not. So we're a bar with all this other stuff.
Well, the mainstream media is the largest part of the problem. It's propaganda, and it's subjugation on the one book, and it's total control. I mean, even YouTube is owned by ABC Media. That's the biggest media outlet in the world.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I stopped watching the news, the quote unquote news, in 2010. Again, this is the U.S. news. When I was watching the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman trials.
I don't remember anything about it.
No, okay, all right. It was basically George Zimmerman was a Hispanic guy, a neighborhood security guard, and he got jumped by a black kid who was kicked out of school, drug dealer. He was actually had things on him that are used to make, I can't remember what, some kind of drug, the designer drug of the time. And so I think it was purple drink, but I'm not quite sure. At any rate. And so basically the news portrayed George Zimmerman as a white person, even though he identifies as Hispanic. His father was white, hence the name Zimmerman. Sounds like Jewish to me, actually, Zimmerman, now that I think about it. At any rate, he's still identified as Hispanic, but they parade him around as the white guy who just likes to go run around and shoot random black people for no reason.
And that was white people do, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Meanwhile, I was just having a moment in my life. I had taken a leave of absence, and so I was on the couch watching or channel surfing, and that live court trials came on, and so I watched every hour of the live court case, and the news was literally reporting the exact opposite of what was going on. Years before, as it turns out, years after. I mean, they still hunted this George Zimmerman guy years after he was found innocent. It's insane. But yeah, sorry.
It's often the case. Sadly, the media is guilty of incriminating these people by public opinion. It's a court of public opinion. Mm-hmm. By the time it actually gets to trial, everybody hates them. It's pitchforks and torches hounding you into the sea. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. And yeah, I mean, they're doing this mob thing, group thing kind of thing. But yeah, they want us basically killing each other over stupid stuff. Things that they fabricated.
Wouldn't it? Keeping us fighting amongst ourselves, and so that they can get away with ripping you off, taxing you into poverty and poisoning you at every turn.
Exactly. Exactly one though, yeah. Yep, and that takes us, sorry?
But the elections themselves, I think there's going to be a lot of trouble surrounding it. and aggression and upset. Because
Yeah.
there's so many people invested in getting their guy. You know, the whole in-group preference thing. Try to get their guy into power. And I need to identify as what they would call right wing on this one, because I grew up and the left left me. I'm one of the people. I used to be a shop steward and a union activist. And
Wow.
I seen how silly it was. I was watching it creep away. And I saw the lies and the nonsense and the petty people doing petty things. It disgusted me. It really disgusted me.
Wow.
So now I don't have a big interest in any particular group in politics. I don't wave a flag for one side or the other anymore, because I seen how ridiculous it was. It's just another way to divide us all.
I bet you've got some stories to tell. Well, I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just saying.
See, one of the things I would say, being a union activist, a shop steward, that sort of thing, and defending people, it actually gives you an insight into how petty and ridiculous people are. Sometimes you're defending people that you're just disgusted by the way they behave, but you've got to sit there and make a case for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it's just a bunch of nonsense. You know, it's just this. It's like two roads that lead to the same end. You know, this whole left-right nonsense to me. And I know that offends some people, but yeah.
Because the way I see it, there really isn't a right wing. There is a left wing, and this is how I've come to see it. There's a left wing and a far left wing, and then everybody else. Because what they call the open window has shifted so far now that the Labour Party in the UK are actually calling far left people within the Labour Party right wing, because they disagree with some small point, the context on some question, or some small difference in the phrasing of a thing. So now they're actually fighting amongst themselves and calling people within their own group the right wing.
Mm.
And it's ridiculous. It's like the right wing is now the biggest insult they can come out with. So everybody's right wing unless your name's Stalin. Trotsky would be right wing in this day.
Yeah. There's another one. I mean, the list goes on, but yeah, exactly. That's brilliant. I'm gonna have to sort of steal that, so to speak. I'm gonna credit you with it, but I'm gonna have to use that as my new banner. There's a left wing and a far left wing, and then there's everyone else. Brilliant.
That's right. But if you don't agree with them wholeheartedly on every single detail of every point, they just point the finger squarely at you and tell you you're an ist, an ism, a Nazi, or a right winger. And that's it. How are you going to defend yourself of that now? You're a Nazi.
Mm. All right. On that note, speaking of cancers and all this other crazy stuff, let's get into this movie. What do you say? I want to do another kind of a wrap up and review, and discuss some more things after the movie. But let's get into the movie. Unless you've got something else you want to mention before we get into it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. All right, let's get to it. Let's do this view. I think this one should be good. All right. There we go. All right, let's do that. I'm trying to give you a good size there. Bummer. All right, let's do this. All right, guys, here we go. The Toxic Avenger Part 3, 1989. The Last Temptation of Toxie. By the way, for those who are not familiar, in the late 80s, I think it was 89. I'm not sure. There's a big controversial movie that came out called The Last Temptation of Christ. So this is kind of putting the thumb in the eye of those people, of course Christians, but anyone who was complaining about that. They did a parody using the sequel of the Toxic Adventure. Here we go. Oh yeah, the 80s music, the hair band music. Let's go.
Tromaville, New Jersey, 1984. Melvin Junko, a mop-wielding health club janitor. A scrawny, skinny, weakling wimp of a nerd fell into a misplaced barrel of toxic chemical waste. Melvin was suddenly transformed into a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength. He became the Toxic Avenger, the first superhero from New Jersey. The Toxic Avenger, or Toxie, as he is affectionately called, went on to crush crime, beat corruption, and blast chemical waste in his hometown of Tromaville. After cleaning up Tromaville in 1988, the Toxic Avenger rose from beneath the rubble of retirement to challenge the evil chairman of Apocalypse Incorporated. Toxie's awesome adventure to abolish the abominable apocalypse took him on an outrageous odyssey to Japan, where Toxie continued to crush crime. In Japan, Toxie learned the spiritual disciplines of sumo wrestling, and the power, beauty, and grace of sumo made him better able to rip bad people's heads off. Now, evil has returned to Tromaville, and you are about to witness what may be the last temptation of Toxie.
Speaking of Blockbuster.
I can't make up my mind. I can't make up my mind.
Einstein!
What?
How many times I have to tell you, you don't put redneck zombies in with the Walt Disney.
Did you see the redneck zombies? That was gruesome.
Gruesome? You want gruesome? You should see my mother-in-law. That's gruesome.
Drop those video cassettes. I'll blow your brains out. Listen up good, 'cause we got some big news for you. You guys suck.
Pick up the phone. Please pick up the phone.
Please don't hurt me. Do anything you want. Just don't hurt me. What are you guys
Shut
doing?
the hell up. There's too much variety in this store. Now that this is a company town, you're all gonna rent company tapes, right?
No!
That's right. From now on, only the top 20 videotapes will be available in this store. The top 5, the Apocalypse Self-Improvement Tapes from Apocalypse Inc.
But we like variety. We like having a lot of choices. We don't want just top 20. We like those movies from Trauma.
Screw Trauma movies!
Wait a minute. Do you want variety? Do you want choice? Well, there's plenty of variety here. MGM, Columbia, and HERRMMM. And we're the Warner Brothers. Tear it up!
Please pick up the phone.
It's amazing how they make this cardboard piece of shit look real.
Look at this piece of shit.
You know, dude, you don't have much intestinal fortitude. Oh, your guts out, skip to my loo, skip to my loo, my darling. Excuse me, folks. How about checking out our adult section? Good-looking guy. Very good, very good. You talking to me? Don't touch that dial.
All right.
People of Tromaville, the Toxic Avenger is back. Better than ever.
Toxic Avenger's back.
He's a real man.
Thank you, Toxie. You saved us.
Yeah, but it was a rough day. Even for a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength.
What a mensch.
Yes, I was a toxic mensch. I was back. Fighting crime, corruption, and toxic waste. But it wasn't always that way. Who would believe that just a few short months ago, I had actually joined the forces of evil? I had actually broken my oath to protect the little people of Tromaville. I, the Toxic Avenger, had become a bad dude, a toxic troublemaker. It's a long and grueling story, so you'd better sit back. This is how it all began. On the surface, everything seemed terrific. Tromaville was safe, Tromaville was happy, Tromaville was prosperous. This period became known as the Golden Age of Tromaville. My mom was really proud of the fact that everybody in Tromaville liked me. Oh.
Wonderful.
My mom was even prouder of the fact that Claire, my non-seeing girlfriend, who you remember in Toxic Avenger Part 2, was now going to be my fiancée and live with me forever in Toxic Avenger Part 3. Mommy's little Melvin had finally grown up. There you are. Good day, Officer Lloyd. Yes, on the surface, everything seemed wonderful. But deep inside of me were swirling feelings of horrible, horrible insecurity. I was now 25 years old. Who was I? What was I? Yes, I had rid Tromaville of all evil, but now I had nothing to do. There weren't even any parking tickets to give out. I, the Toxic Avenger, was reduced to preventing old ladies from cheating at cards. Naughty, naughty. Or occasionally, I found myself trying to get naughty children, excuse me, ma'am, to eat their lima beans. What? I couldn't even do that right. Oh, brother. How low could a superhero go? Claire and I were living in the same old dump. I wasn't bringing in any money as a superhero, and I became a terrible burden living off Claire's welfare check. Claire had a brilliant career going as a dental hygienist, and she was making very good money. Until one day, she had a tragic accident involving mouthwash, rendering her blind. Hi, honey, I'm home. We got the welfare check. I think I'm losing my edge, Claire.
Oh, Toxie, don't say that. Oh, if only that Lavoris hadn't splashed to my eyes. I could see to help you. Oh, if only I could see.
Wait a minute. I don't believe this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're gonna see. Dr. Ron Goldberg says that your sight can be restored. Dear blind person, conditions caused by retinitis pigmentosa found in association with the wide-angle glaucoma may now be successfully treated due to the modification of the argon laser.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
This procedure has been perfected on cave bats. It's been tested on them in labs, and 50% of them lived.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Oh. There's a catch.
It doesn't matter, Melvin. It's worth anything.
$357,000?
I actually thought I would be able to see. Oh, well. It was a nice dream, anyway. I thought at last I was going to be able to see my dear, sweet Melvin.
Gee, I'm not so sure you'd like what you see.
Oh, Melvin. I just know I would. You're the nicest boy I ever met. I just know you're handsome. What's the matter, baby?
Nothing. I just don't want to lose you.
Come on, we don't know this operation is dangerous. And besides, at that price, it's only a dream. Unless I win the Tromaville Times Rich and Famous sweepstakes. I'm happy the way I am. I look at it this way. I'll never have to see ugliness. Or war. Or poverty. Or pollution. Or the Chevrolet Nova.
No way. This time, we're gonna get you that operation, because I'm gonna get that job.
You're gonna get a job, and I'm gonna be free!
Because of my love for Claire, I took the only job available. The most horrifying and humiliating job known to mankind. I'm a toxic avenger. I became a representative of the Internal Revenue Service. Hello, the taxman's here. Hey! Oh, what? Hey! Stop it! Stop doing things! Cut it out! Watch out! Oh! Ow! Since Claire and I were failing in the material world, we decided to spend more time devoting ourselves to the spiritual world.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound of God saved a wretch like me.
Do not be tempted by evil. The reading for today is from Matthew 4, verse 8 and 9, and I quote, "The devil taketh Jesus up unto an exceedingly high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world. And the devil saith unto him, All these things I will give thee, if thou wilt kneel down and worship me." Thus endeth the lesson.
I was so depressed and insecure that I began having nightmares. Ooh-wee. Where's my deodorant?
Hi, guy. Hey, you do stink, but that deodorant's not gonna help you. Remember me? It's Melvin, the way you used to be, before you fell into that toxic waste and became a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength. Look at you bum. You can't even get a job. I had a job, even though I was a mop boy in a health spa. Look at you. Tromaville doesn't need you anymore. I bet you can't even get it up, can you? I bet you can't even get a Woody. I could always get it up. Even though I was always alone, give me a shot at Claire. I want to bop her. Come on, man. Come on. Let me bop her and show you what a real man can do.
Homo wimp geek! I ought to kill you!
All these things I will give thee if thou wilt pull down and work for me. Look at you can't get a job. You're a bum. You can't get a job. 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 Let me bop Claire. Let me bop Claire. Let me bop Claire. Come
What is it, Melvin?
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. I couldn't stop falling. I just kept falling and falling. I couldn't stop.
Oh, poor Melvin. You're very frustrated. What can I do to relieve you, baby?
Claire,
Yes, Melvin?
where's my blankie?
Right here, Melvin. I know it always makes you feel better, Toxie.
While my depression and insecurity led me to experience unbelievably realistic nightmares, they were only nightmares. But across the river, in the big city, there was a giant corporation called Apocalypse Incorporated, and it was creating nightmarish reality.
My good news is that the newly formed Five Families Federation has successfully used their drug networks to sell radioactive grenades to all the third world countries.
Our pilot program in the North Sea is going well. We're dumping 30 tons of PCBs per week. And even better, we're dumping 75 tons of radioactive isotopes per day in the Atlantic. An excellent record.
I am pleased to report that our profits from the ALS, the above land subsidiary, is real good. And we are now pumping massive doses of radiation high in the sky.
Of course, there are still some Sierra Club sissies in Congress who are afraid of contamination up there in space. But we all know that's baloney, right?
Yeah,
right. I think at this point, if there's anyone that we still can't buy off, well, we'll just have to do away with them.
Good. Very good. Yes, excellent. Thank you. Very impressive. For a bunch of right amateurs! Who do you think you're talking to here? I'm going for something bigger than that. Now, ever since we lost Tromaville to the Toxic Avenger, Apocalypse Incorporated has been treading water, going nowhere. Am I getting through to you? Is there something that's unclear? Good. Then it's settled then. You know what I want. Ladies, gentlemen. Toxic Avenger! Delendus est!
give me an appreciation of her most important hobby, music. And I gave her an appreciation of my favorite pastime, video games, which she learned to play very skillfully, by ear.
Hey, Toxie, baby, how's it hanging? See this new video game, 5 Levels of Doom? It kicks.
Meanwhile, at the headquarters of Apocalypse Incorporated, the plot was thickening. And I was to be the cornstarch.
Including all of our car sales are down.
Silence! With all the evil, rotten, corrupt, despicably low people in the world, why is it so difficult for me to get some help?
Well, it's because, I tried to find... And I...
Stop babbling, Malfair!
You better get your own toxic Avenger on the payroll, boss.
We can work with that. With some clever maneuvering, we can have this monster working on our very own payroll. Have the legal department draw up a contract.
Now, how are you going to convince him to work with us?
No beast so fierce, but knows a touch of pity. He has a girlfriend, does he not?
Uh-huh.
And that girlfriend needs an eye operation, doesn't she?
Yeah.
2 eyes coming up.
As my emotional tailspin spiraled downward, the radioactive chemicals inside my body were going nuts. Finally, I decided to end it all. Perhaps Claire could pick up a few dollars by donating my body to science. But even at suicide, I was a toxic flop.
Oh, Melvin, how could you even think of taking your own life?
I know. It's these chemicals. They have taken over my life. What am I saying? I don't have a life. I have a half-life. What's to become of me? Of us?
Don't talk like that, Melvin. It scares me. Anyway, this came for you while you were gone. It smells important.
It's probably more bad news. They probably want to repossess this dump. Here, you read it.
Okay. It says, you just won the Nobel Peace Prize. And, the Tromaville Times Rich and Famous Sweepstakes. And they're gonna give you your own Toxic Avenger TV show.
What? Give me that, you crazy, silly goose. Dear out-of-work superhero. Great opportunity? High salary? Benefits out of this world?
What is it, Melvin?
It's a job opportunity. They want me to represent their company and be their spokesman or something.
I can't believe it.
Claire, this is what I've been praying for.
Oh.
I'm so excited, yeah! I better jump over there right now.
But Melvin, you should put on a fresh tutu.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. and toxic Avengers here, and a smelly mop is dripping all over our reception area.
Melvin Junko!
Yes, sir. That's me, sir.
Right on time. And you brought your resume.
Yes, sir. Right here. Whoa!
Health Club Mop Boy. Good. First superhero from New Jersey. Even better. Special skill. Leaping relatively tall buildings with a running start. And playing video games. Fantastic. Very impressive. Mr. Junko, we're looking for a special person to be the spokesman for the Apocalypse Corporation. Someone with charm, charisma, and a nice appearance. To act as the spokesman and to spread the good news of our policies to the people.
Just what are your policies?
Our policy, Mr. Junko. Giving! That's our policy. Giving to the people what they want. Giving to the people what they need. Fulfilling desires, Mr. Junko. That's what I've always done best. But you ask yourself, how? How? It's just words, but how do you do it? By building, by growing, by taking small towns like Tromaville and revitalizing them into thriving industrial metropolises.
But I always thought Tromaville was nice the way it was.
But any place can be nicer. Everything can be better. I mean, don't we all strive for more? Don't you deserve more? I'm a man of wealth and taste. I offer you wealth, and your taste is something we can work on. Melvin Junko, come on up! Whoa! Look out there, my boy. Let me show you your future! Ta-da!
Toxic shock!
No toxic shock. Just your imagination set free! Look out there, Melvin. More than you've ever dreamed of. A proud, shining world with a Porsche in every driveway. Chicken McNuggets in every pot. And you, you, Melvin, smack dab in the middle of it. With more than you've ever wished for. Loved by millions the world over. You'll be more popular than the Beatles and Elvis combined.
That sounds like an awful lot on minimum wage.
Who said minimum wage? Did I say minimum wage? I didn't say minimum wage. Melvy, baby! What self-respecting, hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength works for peanuts?
None, I guess.
Melvy, you're a star, Boobala! All these things I will give thee, if thou will fall down and work for me. Work for me.
Where have I heard that before?
Work for me. Work for me.
Where have I heard that before? Must be some sort of flashback from that Iron Maiden concert I was at when I was 15.
Now this is no flashback. $357,000, and it's all yours. Count it, boy. Smell it. I bet a smart kid like you could put it to good use. Buy something nice for your girlfriend. Something she's had her eye on.
Her eyes? I could pay for her operation. You got a deal, Mr. Chairman.
Just sign on the dotted line. Right here. Whoops, sorry, the pen slipped. Welcome aboard, and we'll see you on Monday. Oh, and Melvin.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Get rid of that mop. It looks like hell.
Here comes Mommy! Melvin! Melvin! Mommy! I brought all your favorite snacks. Melvin!
Wait a second, Mom. I'm on the ball. I'll be right there. Just let me wipe.
Darling, what's that smell?
Ooh, it stinks in here.
Melvin, have you been eating properly? You look mighty thin to me.
Mom, never mind that, Mom. Look at this. I got my own business card.
Your own card? Why, Mr. Melvin Junko, assistant to the chairman.
Yeah, Mom, isn't it great? And Mom, I get to make special appearances, and I get to talk to people, and I get to use all my charm, just like you taught me, Mom.
It's wonderful.
Oh, Mom, I almost forgot the best part. The pièce de résistance. The bank book.
Your own bank book? What? $357,000! I don't believe it.
And Mom, feel the numbers. I had them raised so Claire could feel them.
Oh, you're such a darling boy. You're so sweet.
Now we can get Claire that eye operation she needs.
And a microwave oven for me. Oh, I'm so proud of you, darling.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, darling.
Oh, but Claire, I think I should stay here with you.
And this your first day at work? Oh, Melvin, it's okay. They're just doing tests today anyway. And I have the doctor and Mother Junko here. It'll be okay.
That's right, Mr. Junko. Don't you worry about a thing. I'll take good care of her.
He's a wonderful doctor. He's a member of the country club.
Are you sure you want me to go, Claire?
Oh, Melvin, I love you.
I love you too, Claire. And I'll be back for the operation.
Ladies and gentlemen, you haven't waited for nothing. Soon you'll be in the presence of a real leader. And here he is. Right on time. And he brought you a special surprise. A new employee whom you all know and love. Someone you and I can trust and depend on. Someone who really knows how to clean up this town.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Mom.
Hello, citizens of Chairman!
Oh, hey, how you doing? Hi. How are you? Hi, people of Tromaville. Hi, everybody. Hi, Mom. Hi, everybody. Look, I got a job.
Oh!
Mayor Cigar Face, people of Tromaville, listen to me before you pass any quick judgments. Who are you going to listen to? A bunch of whining environmentalists who claim to be so afraid of toxic waste when we know that waste is the natural byproduct of every organic process? Or are you going to listen to me, the one who cares enough about you and your families to build for you a new and better Tromaville?
Up yours!
On so noble an enterprise as this, and profit there will be. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, dioxin means dollars. Chemicals are cash. Say it to yourselves.
Hold it down! Hold it down! Just listen! He knows what he's talking about!
I know that some of you out there seem to think that chemicals are bad. I submit to you, you are chemicals. Everything is made of chemicals. And join me now in embracing dioxin and all her sister chemicals and everything they represent. Happiness, prosperity, life. That, people of Tromaville, Is the apocalypse when?
On my first big day working for Apocalypse, I was so excited about my good fortune that I didn't notice that the Tromavillians were actually hostile to the chairman. Had I known then what I know now about the evil excesses of capitalism and the power elite, I surely would never have joined Apocalypse Incorporated, but I didn't even read Mad Magazine, much less Forbes or the Wall Street Journal. How was I to know that the true agenda for Apocalypse Incorporated was to take over Tromaville and enslave its people?
Let go of her! Let go!
I have to admit, I did think it was a bit strange that the Apocalypse employees in the gas masks were beating my friends senseless and dragging away even my mother into rehabilitation camps. But the chairman said that these were just the usual malcontents who turn up for any cause or function, just there to interfere with progress. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker. When my new company put the children to work, making Agent Orange and other toxic chemicals, they told me it was a wonderful thing, because all the children would be earning minimum wage. And besides, it would develop their small motor skills, and they would really learn their primary colors.
No, you two think this is going to be the new home for the blind, do you?
Well, you're wrong. This is going to be the new nerve-gas dump site.
That's great. We're going to go check out our boy.
Okay, here, let's see. That's not so heavy.
Easy.
There you go. Be careful.
One of my responsibilities was to get the Tromavillians to join the Apocalypse Incorporated self-improvement seminars.
That's it, just follow.
I did everything I could to help these volunteers find their way to the right classrooms. Stop pushing! Stay in line. Thanks. Apocalypse Incorporated had me doing a little bit of everything.
Have a nice day.
Tear down these crummy homes. Yeah, they're in the way of the nuclear missile silos.
Thanks, Potato Head.
Bye-bye.
Did you nail that sign down the block? Have a nice day.
Nurse, would you dispose of this, please?
Of course, doctor.
Thank you.
Junko? Melvin?
Yes, Claire, I'm here.
Doctor?
I'm over here, Claire. I'm over here. Relax.
Mother Junko?
I'm here, dear.
Melvin?
Yoo-hoo. Claire, nothing to be afraid of. You're going to be seeing all those wonderful things very soon. Just hold very still. I don't want to poke your new eyes out with these scissors. Hold very still. We're getting there. Just another moment. Just another moment. Keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them. Very, very slowly. Very slowly. That's it. That's it. That's it. No, Claire. Calm down. Melvin's over there.
Melvin?
you could see. You could finally see.
I can see. This is the happiest day of my life. Oh, Melvin! Oh, Toxie! Look at this beautiful place we made! Oh, my God! Oh, look at all these beautiful things! Roses. I recognize them by the smell. Oh, baby. These are roses. I can see them. I can see. Look. Oh, they're so beautiful. Everything's so pretty. Whoa. What's this? Oh, this is so beautiful.
Well, that's Tide. It's a detergent.
Oh, Melvin, I just love it. Look over here. What's this? It's so exquisite. So perfect.
Now that is a dust ball.
Oh. Who's that man?
That's Benjamin Franklin. He's my hero.
But he's so old and wrinkly. I like the way you look. You look so rugged and handsome. Oh, squeeze me. Oh, Melvin. Squeeze me, baby. Oh, that's right, baby. No, I want to see everything. No! So this is your big, beautiful love machine.
Yes, that's one of the advantages of being a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength.
Touch me. Oh, I love I guess I won't need these canes anymore.
When this landfill is created, it'll be the largest chromium waste dump within 1,000 miles. The Toxic Avenger is one of Apocalypse's most promising young executives.
Hey!
Well done, Melvin.
Melvin, here, honey. I made your favorite breakfast. Radioactive oat bran. Melvin? Melvin? Melvin! Your breakfast is ready, sweetie.
Hey, no time, babe. Anyway, I gotta do an egg with the chairman this morning. Like, wow. Okay, look at this. Waits vacuums up 3-pointers.
Huh?
Hey, don't be so glum. Soon, it's the weekend. We'll do brunch. What are you gonna do this morning, babe?
Well, I thought I'd take a nice long walk and go over and see the environmentalists. They want me to help them save the Tromaville Bird Sanctuary. But Melvin, what kind of talk is that? Do an egg? Do brunch? That doesn't sound like New Jersey talk to me.
That's upwardly mobile lingo, you know? But listen, I got to go. So like, he said okay, so I said okay, so okay? So listen, I gotta go. Oh, kisses and hugs. Remember, you gotta go. Yeah. Ooh, gotta check that tutu. There it is. It looks great. Bye-bye.
Babe? Do an egg? West vacuum?
Believe it? Oh no.
Oh my God.
The worst of it was poor Claire. The operation opened her eyes just in time to see her beloved Tromaville overrun with the parasites of corporate greed and the vermin of political corruption. And I was the cause of it.
How much would it take to roll me down the street? Go. Go on.
Get out of here. Leave this young man alone. What do you think you're doing here? You gotta go. Come on. Don't you know, Major Jack? Come on. Move it.
Vomit break. Come on, puke or die, you bastard. Get it up. Let's go. Come on. Clear out that stomach. Come on. All right. Go home. Puke. Come back in 20 minutes. I don't want to see anybody without puke stains on them.
Before I knew it, I became a toxic yuppie on the fast track. The Tromavillians tried to put on a brave face and made the best of their mutated environment. But what does one feed to a creature that is half frog and half duck? Worse yet, what would you call it? Listen, I don't care if she's 80. If she doesn't have the rent at the end of the month, I want her out of there. Larry, Boobala baby, how are ya?
Melvin, I want to talk to you.
Can't wait, I'm on the phone.
No.
Well, I gotta go. Claire's being a nudge. Yes.
Melvin, something's very wrong. This company you're working for? I think they're doing evil things.
Don't be silly.
You've changed so much lately. You seem so different. You're just not yourself lately.
Well, yes, but how could you badmouth Apocalypse? I mean, come on. If it wasn't for them, you would still be stumbling around on that cane.
I know, but I'd rather be blind in heaven than sighted in hell. Tromaville's being destroyed, and all you can do is listen to incentive tapes morning, noon, and night. Melvin, I think someone is trying to brainwash you.
I don't have to listen to this garbage. You just remember, I signed that contract for you.
counted on you to clean up evil. What about all the kids who believed in you? What about all those people in Reel 9 of the first movie who stood up for you? What about the messengers, Melvin? You're their hero.
What about all those marvelous people out there in the dark? What about your favorite patriots, Melvin? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of slavery? I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death!
I'm out of here.
Just walk out the door and turn your back on humanity.
Bully on you, toxic traitor. Bull toxic bad guy. Pick on Donald Trump. Why don't you go out the X side?
I felt that my whole world was caving in around me. I went to my favorite place to sit and think. The junkyard. Coming to this place had always comforted me. But now, the old cars, the headlights were staring at me. The grills were grinning and mocking me.
$357,000. It's all yours.
Whoa, be big.
Oh, this can be yours if you will work for me. All this if you will fall down and worship me.
Wait a minute. You said worship me. You said worship me, not work for me. Where have I heard that before?
All these things I will give thee if thou wilt kneel down and worship me.
How could I have thought that I was helping Tromaville? How could I have been so deluded? Oh, I can't believe it. Claire was right. What have I done? Have I sold my soul? What have I become? I'm evil, evil. How could I face her again? What could I say to make it up to her? can't believe it. Claire. 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 Wake up. Wake up.
Melvin, what's wrong? You're shaking.
Don't worry. I'll be all right. I think your eye operation has helped me to see. You are right. Apocalypse is evil. They do horrible things. I've got to stand up and fight them.
But how are you going to do that?
Well, the Sumos taught me that when you face a formidable opponent, you must make the first move.
I'm so proud of you, baby. But how will you fight Apocalypse?
How will I fight them? How will I fight them? How will I fight them? The old-fashioned way, that's how.
Oh, no.
Well, that's the whole horrible, terrible truth.
What a mensch.
But now, I was ready to make amends. Now I would show the good people of Tromaville that they could look up to me once again as their very own, newly reformed, hideously deformed superhero. But first, I had to earn their respect. As quick as my 2 feet would take me, I was out there giving them my toxic all.
The Toxic Avengers coming!
The Toxic Avenger is back. The Toxic Avenger's coming. Melvin.
Thank you for saving my dog, Toxie.
Here's your doggy, good junior citizen. Helping to undo all the horrible wrongs I had committed during my descent into the chairman's clutches. But now I was ready to confront the evil chairman on his own turf. I would mop up the evil in Tromaville and make room for Toxic Avenger Part 4.
My new assistant. Still carrying that mop, I see. Here to clean up the new headquarters? Here to clean them out! Oh, it was a joke. Melvin, what's wrong? I thought we were partners. You and I have a deal.
Toxic Avenger doesn't deal with evil.
Well. I think our boy knows something.
I think I know who you are.
A contract is a contract, and you're a man of your word.
Right, Melvin.
I don't care about your dumb contract. We want you out of Tromaville. Good citizens of Tromaville, Apocalypse is through. Chairman, your history.
Yes, Melvin. I am history. Oh, you still don't realize who you're dealing with, do you? See me as I am!
Stay back, stay back.
I'm thoroughly confused. Oh, the devil!
You are one ugly amphibian. All right, Junko. Let's party.
No problem. I meant to do that.
What will it be? Dark places, magic swords. Choose your weapon and your arena. I know. You play video games, don't you, Melvin? I'm going to show you the 5 levels of doom. Earth, wind, fire, water, and the last one. But nobody gets to the last one anyway. Then let the battle begin. Ready or not, here we go! Ooh, level 1, Earth! This is one load of toxic waste that won't stay buried.
Hey, you! Hey, lawnmower face! Get him! I'll give you $1,000 to run that guy over! Wait, the budget for this movie's only $2 million. $30. I'll give you $30 to run over that guy!
That's my son,
Nice work, Melvin. But now we're up to level 2. A personal favorite of mine. Fire. I'll turn Tromaville into ash. Have a taste of hell.
Oh no! It's out of water!
Come on out of that tutu, John Henry.
Now I'm pissed. Your friend saved you. But can you save your friends? Oh, see the little children getting on the school bus. It's fun and games time.
Don't make a fuss! Leave the driving to us!
All aboard! Oh, Melvin, look! They're all going my way!
No! Not the children! Your battle is with me!
Safety first, kids! Hold on, kiddies! We're going to return.
Stay calm, good citizen.
Some good. This is good pie.
That's pork, Rabbi.
Hey, look.
Got him.
Don't be frightened! I'm coming!
How do you like this level of doom? Wind! Oh, give up now, Melvin, and they live.
Never!
Let's go.
Got to save him! Ouch! Ow! Ouch! Ow! Have no fear, children! Toxic's here! I can't do this. I'm not Superman. I got it.
Don't just stand there, Melvin.
Shoot! Damn! There. All right, everybody out. Quick, move it. Hurry! The bus is about to fall.
Thanks,
Move it.
Toxie.
Here you go.
Thank you, Melvin.
Don't mention it, Glenn. Get out now, or you won't be around to see how this movie ends. Hurry, come on.
I'm melting.
Oh my God, the devil's fixing the bus.
He's putting it back together again.
What's going on?
You may have left Malfair flat, but now you will perish, Avenger. This next level of doom is a doozy. Water!
Stop that bus! Banzai! You devil, you!
Don't slip, you! Hang on, Melvin.
Don't drive into Bob Tall's famous Fantasy Acre mud bomb! It's an old sumo trick. They use it whenever they're on a runaway school bus that plunges into a deadly pool of muddy, murky water. Excuse me, people. Get out of the way. I've got to clean up this dirty mess in Tromaville.
You are becoming an annoying horsefly, but swatting time is here. I bring you, courtesy of hell, the final level of doom. The mind is a terrible thing to waste, and I am going to waste your...
What's happening to me? I don't feel so well.
You ought to treat those boils. Oh, what's the matter, Melvin? Got a headache? Losing weight the easy way, Melvin. Pull yourself together,
Jolie, I don't smell nothing. What happened to me?
I'm Betty. You look just like your father.
Melvin, here's your sumo diaper. Put it on this way. Maybe this will help you. Remember what your sumo friends taught you? Remember?
Oh, little Melvin, you don't even know where you are. Are you in Tromaville? Are you in Japan? Where are you? affronts to hell.
I denounce you, Satan! My eyes! I'm blind! I'm blind again!
What are you doing to her? After all, a boy's best friend is his mommy.
If only I could find that contract. Oh, if I could find that contract, then maybe I could help Melvin. I don't know where he put it. If I could just find that contract, then we could clean this whole thing up.
Get out of my way, worm. Look at him! Look what's become of the Toxic Avenger! He's back to the sniveling mutt boy you all made fun of!
Where's that real version of the contract Toxie made for me? If I could just find that contract, they could clean up this mess. Got it!
Oh, look, isn't he ready for destruction? Aren't you tired of this pink tutued pansy?
We're tired of you, Mr. Chairman. And we're tired of what your company is doing to our Tromaville.
We're tired of the groundwater pollution.
And your sludge. And the PCBs.
We're tired of your filthy lawyers and accountants, and we're fed up with your perverted investment bankers.
The Toxic Avenger has always played fair with us.
And he's the only toxic waste we need around here.
If you want him, you've got to go through us.
This town has never had it so good. I order you to go back to your hovels and jump in your beds. I just might be willing to forget all this and let you show up for work tomorrow.
Please, let us alone. Claire's found the way out of the contract. Excuse me, she has found an escape clause. Please, let her go. Oh, please, what? Oh, Claire's found the way out. Oh my God, there's an escape clause. Claire, here, you tell him about it. Claire!
Oh, it's very important. Reforce Majeure states, Clause 11, termination. The employee's obligations hereunder shall remain in full force and effect for all eternity. However, said obligations shall be terminated, and this agreement shall be rendered immediately null and void upon a miraculous act of God.
And God is in the hearts of the people!
It's an escape clause! It's an escape clause!
Now what about this? It's an escape clause. See? What about that, huh?
Whoa! So where is he? On vacation in the Grand Bahamas. I don't see him around protecting his interests. I'm the only one interested in this dirty little town. And you're yesterday's waste, pal.
Excuse me. Message from Mr. Junko. Have a message, Mr. Junko. Urgent message, Mr. Melvin Junko.
Can't you see we're busy here?
I think this takes priority.
No one takes priority over me.
Oh.
Maybe one.
Let's get the hell out of here! It's the big guy! Madonna mia! Complimento, was ist das?
It's raining. Oh!
It's wonderful.
I feel tingly on my body.
It's nectar from God. It's some healing liquid. Oh, it's sweet, it's soft, it's warm. What's happening, little Melvin? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Melvin? Melvin! Oh, Melvin, you're back! You're back, Melvin! Oh!
There's my son!
I can see.
I am back, but now I feel like kicking some devil ass. This has gone on long enough, devil. I think it's about time that somebody put the fear of God in you.
Be reasonable. Think of what you're giving up, Melvin.
That's Mr. Melvin to you.
Oh, this is more disgusting than General Hospital.
私は今、銀座にいます。今、ハゲに一番効くという中国の101のスプレータイプ。さあ、これがどのくらい効くか実験してみましょう。まんべんなく塗りましょう。さあ、果たしてどのくらいで生えてくるかというのは、個人差によって違うでしょうね。
Are you okay? Up you go, Reverend.
Gee whiz! I've only had my eyes a short time, and already I've seen everything.
I do.
Then I now pronounce you man, monster, and wife. You may now kiss the bride.
My baby boy.
So me and Mommy and Claire walked off into that toxic sunset.
Alrighty then. Yeah. where do I begin? Okay. Well, let me just say that I think the romantic ending. Nice. Let me just say I'm gonna personally say that. Yeah, I think as far as the Christian representations go, I would say it's about half and half. Of course, this is just off the cuff. I didn't actually take notes, but overall, I'm quite impressed with the positive portrayals of Christianity. I was not expecting that, especially in a movie like this. Especially one titled "The Temptation of Toxie" and then that kind of thing. So, yeah. As far as production value, $2 million budget, obvious. I don't think it was meant to blow you over like Avengers Endgame or something like that, but whatever. The storyline, I mean, you said it, Slim. It was just basically selling sex so, throughout the movie. I think that was the plot, sex, and that's about it. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Slim? What do you think? I'm putting on a spot.
It's a movie that would never be made today. Times have changed, right? Not a mobile phone in sight. Plenty of sexy humour that somebody would complain about in this day and age. But as typical of B movies of that period, they have to get that bit of nudity, if you like, and the sexiness to sell screen because nobody's going to buy it on its production values or quality.
Fair point.
So
that's quite right.
It is typically a lot of cheap movies of that period, which I loved. But almost always, I used to sit and watch most of these with a friend that I had at that time period. I was an apprentice when that came out. And they usually pack in the first 10 minutes, you get a bit of sexiness to hook you into the movie, and then you never get any more after that. But that kept slipping in some crotch shots to keep you occupied. So they done quite well on that front.
Yeah, and they're breaking the fourth wall there. That was quite brilliant. Like it seems like they're doing it at points where the plot was kind of dragging a bit. So when they did that, it kind of jarred me, kind of pulled me right back into the movie too. I thought that was actually really clever use of that. I mean, you might see that once. Sorry.
I think, in honesty, when you think that it is a very low budget movie, right? The production values and everything, even the filming, were relatively cheaply done. They were very, very entertaining. Now, there was a lot of social commentary in that, whether it was deliberate or inadvertent. But for entertainment value, the B movies were always great. They were always funny. There was a lot of things that mainstream movies would never entertain. So they had a lot going for them in the sense that they might not have had the quality, but they certainly had the entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got to say I was entertained by it. I think you guys made it more entertaining than than it actually was. But yeah, that about says it all. One rating. That's fair. Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, basically, like I said, it was a movie that got through obviously copyright checks for an older movie. So I thought Halloween was a good time to show it, and some of the themes like we said, kind of discusses current events. So it's an opening for that.
In that respect, it is incredible to see all these weirdos and freaks represented by the evil. I know the decent and ordinary people represented standing at the right-hand side. In fact, on the screen. The God-fearing and decent people.
Interesting. I didn't even notice that, the positioning. And I've been really critical of Hollywood, and especially when, it's kind of this industry standard when you've got like of course, Jewish producers or directors and so on. But this one, I think, like I said, he showed a lot of, and he was the writer too, not only the director, but I thought he did a really good job of showing Christianity in a positive light, not just a negative light, which is a nice change of pace for me.
Yeah. But there was a lot of, if you looked at it and took a view of it from that angle, as I said, the left and the right, they actually had them positioned left and right quite a few times in that movie. Well, the good people were on the right-hand side of the screen, and the evil, if you like, the HERRMMM people were all on the left-hand side of the screen. And that's true outside the church and all. We know the decent people are standing at the right-hand side, and the devil and his cohorts, the furries, the people on leashes, all of which you see in this day and age out in the street. If you watch the news reports in Americans, they've got, I don't know what they call these. I know the furries are called furries because I've laughed at them occasionally. But the people on dog leashes walking around and all that, they were all represented there as the evil.
That's interesting. I didn't draw. I saw you mention that in chat, but it didn't dawn on me. But now that you're explaining it, yeah, you're right. I mean, I was wondering about the half animal people. I was thinking more like an evolution kind of thing. But no, you're right. Like, I mean, and it kind of is. I mean, it kind of is like this whole Baphomet kind of thing, like this whole morphing of nature and man, and people lose their identity in nature. We're supposed to idolize nature and animals are more important than people, or quote unquote human beings, and that kind of thing. And the whole furry thing is definitely empowers that and pushes us toward that direction, toward that end.
I think the furries are mostly strangely weak people that hide behind a mask. The total anonymity is something that I think really appeals to these people. I mean, me as a person, I'm no anonymous, right? Whenever I'm online, for instance, people get to see my face. It might not be attractive, it might not be great, but it's there. These people are all hiding behind. If you notice that even in current demonstrations, there's a lot of people that wear masks. You don't see that to the so-called right-wingers. They're just decent, ordinary people that show up to have an opinion.
Yeah.
But what have they to hide is what the question is keep on asking, keep on coming out. Why are they people hiding their faces?
Yeah, that was ushered in. Sorry.
They want to avoid accountability for being there, for what they're doing, for their actions. They've got something to hide, and that's why they're hiding it. I don't feel I've got something to hide. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not saying anything wrong. I might give opinions that people can disagree with. But there is a whole element of a certain political and religious or non-religious type group that they represent what is commonly called evil now, right? And they're hiding their faces. They're hiding behind makeup and face piercings and tattoos and blue hair, and they've become a tribe of their own, and it is in fact a religion that they've got. They've got all the trappings of a religion. They totally like idolize and worship people, pop stars and rap artists, and it's incredible that these people that make millions after the backs of these people that are buying their tickets are then worshipped as if they're something special.
Well, I mean, they're promoted. They're elevated to that position by all the media, all the advertising. I mean, some more than others. I'm not so sure. I'm not completely convinced that popularity is actually what people want, but rather what's more pushed on them. And I could be wrong about that. You know,
It's power and money people want. Everybody wants power and money, even me. I want power and money. Then, when I rule the universe, I shall just everything I say will be taken. That'll be it. You do this, you do that, you do the other, and everything will be great. But
yeah,
keep
make
it
everything
that
right.
way. Whatever you go to do, keep it that way. That's the bad side of it, right? Because there's always somebody going to have an opinion that differs for yours and wants more, wants something else, wants. And how do you stop that?
Yeah, you know, and going back to the whole mask thing, you know, again, the lockdown really ushered that in, fortified it, and let's say our mutual friend there, I was kind of torn. I kind of jumped in the first time I went on stage was when someone was giving him grief about the mask. I didn't like that because I felt like he was doing it to protect himself, and so I felt that person saying that he should take off his mask was kind of threatening toward him. And so, but before I did that, I still did not like the idea of masks, just like for the reason you're saying. It's giving people the ability to hide behind these not only surgical masks, but whatever looks like a surgical mask these days. And especially in Speaker's Corner, it looks like a lot of the Muslims that are just out to no good are literally just walking around completely with their faces covered. So so he's actually empowering those people.
They can do what they like, and they're never going to be held accountable because they can't be identified.
Right.
No, see
Exactly.
the surgical masks that so many wear, and you notice that there is a political leaning on their people. They must know by now that those masks are completely useless.
Well, I got my own conspiracy theory about that, and just that's being done as yet another reason to usher in the microchipping. And I could be wrong, but
I think a lot of the people do it to show affiliation with their tribe. It's no like tribal. It's no like a tribal thing wearing that mask.
Yeah.
If you're wearing a mask in public at any of these demonstrations, all the people around you know who you side with, because you never see a single what they call right-wing protest or right-wing grouping, march, organisation, any of it. You never see a single mask at any of them, do you?
Right. Exactly. No, that's just well said. It's perfect.
So now it's become a representation of affiliation to certain groups.
Yeah, and you know, on the back of what you're saying now, this is a talking point I wanted to cover, and that's it's interesting how, like, even with family members, I've had this issue where they come at me with their political stuff that is always attached to some kind of fascist agenda, and so in addressing not the politics, but the fascist agenda, like abortion or whatever it might be, lethal serums and so on. I always go to scripture, and whenever I do that, they interpret that as me being political, and then they start getting mad at me and start throwing out this word. Well, stop being political, even though I'm just citing scripture in response to some kind of propaganda that's detrimental to everyone.
Don't you think that's propagandization that's done that?
Right, exactly.
They hear about it and they think that everything is now, sadly, everything is now political. Whether it's religion, you're a right-winger if you're into religion. Now, the forces of evil, as some people call them, they're all left-leaning. All the anti-decency people, all of the people that you see in the masks, wearing dog collars, walking about, pride cometh before the fall. These people are clearly all representing a side of the political and social agenda, if you like.
Yeah.
And it's sad that we've become actually will become balkanized because it is turning into a war. Now, there is a propaganda war. There's a, they call it, what is it they call it? It's escaped me. The culture war.
Oh, culture war. Okay.
Now, the left are always talking about the culture war and saying how we're propagating it. When it's something they started and they're fighting. They're the ones that want to make horrible changes to society, tell us to let in all these illegals, because if you don't let a lot of illegal aliens into your country to destroy your culture, your society, your streets, your housing, you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy for saying, hey, wait a minute, can we not think of ourselves for a bit? After all, charity begins at home.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that those groups. I mean, yeah, they're always pushing these what we're calling false dichotomies. These dichotomies that are being made very real through these people. That it's basically this. What it all boils down to when you put it. Look at the big picture. It's really Christians versus anti-Christians. And all these other groups, quote unquote, show solidarity with each other, always attacking Christians. And so therefore, whether we like it or not, we're forced into the other group. And, as apologists for ourselves and fighting for a right to be able to exist, we then are in danger of slipping into that dichotomy and taking up those arguments, which I do regularly, even in my content. I try not to, but it's hard to avoid. But once we do that, I feel like we start to lose the battle.
You become a part of this whether you want to or not now, because any opinion you have is politicized by other people.
That's a good point.
I've got an opinion that I don't. I've got an opinion that I consider an economic opinion, right? Now, other people will say you're a racist. I don't consider myself a racist. I never have done.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I would say I'm more racist than you are, from what I've gotten to know. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that people call you that. But I guess it's automatically because you speak against a talking point, and then they're conditioned to use those labels against you. That's because that's all they have.
That's what it is, conditioning. Now, see if their groups, whether it be through the likes of D'Angelo or the critical race theory stuff, if they've got that drummed into them through education, through the universities, through mass media, through all of these things, that these are the ideas that you should hold, and you're on a moral high ground if you've got them, whether you are or not, they believe they have the moral high ground. They believe they're better people than you because they accept what they're told by multinationals and government, when they were the people that, until a short time ago, were actually opposed to the multinationals and government.
Yeah.
And it is a part of the long march through the institutions we're all been dragged into a fight with. You're a part of it whether you want to or not. I was a person who was interested in the news, interested in science and technology. I know a lot about certain things, right? Engineering things. I was an engineer my whole life. So
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I've got a great interest in nuclear power and power production. And just like everything else, you have an interest in that. And I say to people when they talk about it, when they talk about green energy, how much of a fantasy their green energy plans are. And I tell them nuclear is the only real green energy that we have available. There isn't anything greener than nuclear power. It produces less CO2. It's got less of a footprint. It creates less pollution than any other form of energy we can create. But oh no, you want to destroy the environment. You want to do this. You want to do that. No, I'm still studying it, in fact, but I spent a lot of time, 10 years or more, deeply involved in studying nuclear power.
Wow.
I worked with people that created, as I worked in engineering, I worked with people that actually created nuclear power stations, nuclear reactors, and nuclear equipment.
Don't advertise that too much. You don't want the Muslims getting.
There was always people I could say, hey, See this? How do we avoid a positive void coefficient on that type of reactor? And they would sit down and tell me for 5 or 6 years how it works, right? No. I find that a lot of people, and it is very common, a lot of people that know nothing about the thing are those with the biggest opinions on it and pushing it.
Yeah. You know, let me. I want to run. Forgive me. I want to because I want to be on Paul Sullivan's channel just in case he's short on folks on the panel. But let me just cover two things really quick. Basically, they're intertwined, and that's just what on the back of what we mentioned with the dichotomies and people slipping into that. Actually, just one thing, really. The other thing I'll do at a future date. But yeah, on the back of the dichotomies, let me just say this whole Trump, Kamala thing, left-right thing, and all that, to me is one of those traps, one of those dichotomies. The same thing with it was Palestine, Israel, but now it's Israel, the world. So, I mean, to me, it's like this. It's simple. Again, you're either with Christ or you're not. And neither one of those dichotomies speak to me or that, well, if I choose one of those options, then I'm with Christ. Neither one. So I'm saying that because we're going up to we're a few days away from the U.S. elections, and we're all expecting all hell to break loose. So I want to at least say that publicly. Please be mindful of what you're idolizing and how much of yourself you're dedicating it to. And what does that do to your relationship and those around you with regards to your relationship with God? That's my only question, my only challenge. All right, forgive me, Slim, but I really do want to run. Guys, follow me on the. I wish I could transfer you guys over there, but I can't. But it's called the Salifian Report. Paul Sutliff. He's doing one on nikah, sex slaves. So that should be good. Last week he did on slavery too. Last week's was pretty good, but I missed that one. So again, thanks for being here. Before I go, Slim, do you have any last words for us?
Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for coming up, man. I really appreciate you. God bless you. And God bless everyone, Chad. Thank you for being here. And remember, blessed are those who endure to the end. Keep on keeping on.
Thanks, everyone.
I see.